I like to give you a gift, and that gift is 2 things that you can do right now to improve your speech this week. 2 things that you can start to do right now that can also begin to improve your speech this week. The first thing is to learn to maintain constant airflow when you're speaking. Learn to maintain constant airflow when you're speaking. Now, I've done webinars. I have put out videos and audios on this, so I'm not going to actually go into detail explaining what it means, but what I am going to do is give you an exercise so you can experience it. I think that'll be much better for you. When I say maintain constant airflow, what I mean is, if you'll listen to the way that I'm speaking now, I'm not starting and stopping. I'm not starting and stopping. I'm maintaining constant airflow while I speak. Now you may say, okay, well, it's easy for you to say, it's easy for you to explain, but it's not easy to do. No, it's not easy to do, but it is something that you can retrain yourself to do, and I've helped many, many people to do that. So here's an exercise that I have my coaching clients to do, and we only usually need to do it at the very beginning of our coaching sessions. And it is called the free flow speaking exercise, and there's a couple of different levels to it. So let me try to quickly explain it. What I'd like for you to do, listen carefully, is take a relatively deep breath. Take that in through your nose. Take a relatively deep breath, right? You can feel your stomach, if you will, your diaphragm kind of filling up, right? Like a balloon, right? And then I want you to speak without stopping until you run out of air. I want you to speak without stopping until you run out of air. Now, here's another part of this exercise that I want you to think about. I don't want you to think about what you're going to say. So it can be babble, right? Just say anything, maintain constant airflow. Do not allow yourself to stop. I'm going to show you, because I know that probably sounds very confusing, so I'm going to demonstrate what it sounds like. First, I'm not going to think about what I'm saying. I'm just going to say anything. Number 2, I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to keep speaking relatively fast while maintaining constant airflow, okay? Here's what it's going to sound like. My name is Michael Williams, and right now I'm just doing a video, and I'm going to say anything. Even if I don't know what I want to say, I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to keep talking until I begin to run out of air. But one of the things that I do want to tell you to do is that you want to keep talking until you maintain constant airflow. So don't worry about what you're saying, because I'm about out of air now. Okay, I just ran out of air. I could feel my stomach muscles tensing up, right? Because I ran out of air. But if you notice, I just kept talking. I kept doing what I call blending my words, not allowing myself to stop and think what I wanted to say and take a breath. I just kept talking. I'm going to do that one more time, because it's important that you understand. You just keep talking. Don't think about what you're going to say. Keep talking. Maintain constant airflow. Make sure that you don't leave space between your words. I'm going to do it one more time, okay? Okay, this is my second time doing this, and I'm going to continue to talk, and I really don't have to talk that fast, but the most important thing is that I continue to talk until I maintain airflow, and it doesn't matter if what I'm saying sounds like babble or not, but I'm just going to talk and talk and talk, and I can just keep talking until I run out of air. Okay, all right. So, do you get the idea? I want you to do that exercise a few times. Unless you have a breathing problem, then you might not want to do that. You might not want to do it until you run out of air. If you don't have a breathing problem, taking a deep breath, doesn't have to be super deep, but you can take in a pretty deep breath. And as you're exhaling, right, you don't take the breath and hold it and try to speak. You take that deep breath, and as you're exhaling, you continue to speak just like this, just like I did 2 other times. And just keep speaking, making sure your words are linked together or blended together tightly. That's the key. Watch this video over and over again and practice that. So remember, I said I was going to give you 2 things that you can do immediately that have the potential to immediately begin to improve your speech. One is to learn to maintain constant airflow. I just gave you an exercise called free flow speaking. Taking a deep breath, don't think about what you want to say, and keep speaking, right? It's just free flow. The second thing that I'd like for you to think about in terms of improving your speech is, and this is very, very different, is model someone. Find someone that you like the way they speak and copy them, mimic them, imitate them, pretend to be them. Practice speaking like that person. practice or listen to how that person speaks. If they have audio, if they have video, study their audio, study their video, and then practice speaking like that person. Literally become that person. Why? Why is this important? Because improving your speech is as much about changing your identity as it is about changing the physical way that you speak, right? Is as much about changing your identity as a speaker, that is, who you see yourself as a speaker, how you feel about yourself, that is your self-image, your belief, your self-concept. How you see yourself as a speaker must also change. Because if you continue to see yourself as a person who has a fear of public speaking, I'm always afraid, or I always stutter, or I stutter in these situations, I'm a stutter, and I can't say this, then guess what? No matter what you do, you're only going to make incremental improvements, if that. So you literally have to change your identity as a speaker. You have to begin to see yourself as a different speaker, as someone that speaks well, as an excellent speaker, as a smooth speaker, whatever you want to say. You're going to have to change your identity, and one way that you can do this is by modeling someone that speaks extremely well. And not just one time, and not just for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. You're going to have to do this for a while until it becomes your new speaking habit, right? Your new way of speaking. Does this make sense? So find someone that you like the way that they speak, you love the way they speak, and model them, mimic them, imitate them, pretend to be them. When do you do this? All the time. Every time you speak, you're going to have to pull up an image or video or sound of how that person speaks. And when I say image or video, I mean mentally, right? And you're going to have to pretend that you're that person speaking. Don't just do it when you're under pressure, because half the time that's not going to work. You need to do it when you're calm and when you're relaxed. You need to do it when you're talking with your friends and family. You need to do it when you're under pressure. You need to do it when you're by yourself. Why? Because you're not just creating a new habit, you're not just creating a new way of speaking, you're trying to replace an old way. You're trying to replace a current way. So therefore, you have to do it all the time, because if you don't do it all the time, the old way, right, the old connection is going to continue to dominate how you think and speak. So you're going to have to overwrite that old identity by taking on a new speaking identity all the time until that becomes a habit. Does that make sense? And these are some of the secrets, and people just do it sometimes. They say this is hard, or I can't do it. Then they never change their speaking identity, never change their speaking habits. Well, they only change it a little bit. You got to stick to this. It's the way your brain works. It's the way your brain works. I've done so much research and so many studies on habit development and habit replacement and high performance learning and all of this, and neuroplasticity. It's all built into what I'm telling you now. And you can go do your research and you'll find it's absolutely true. So I gave you two tips, 2 strategies, 2 techniques, 2 things that you can do immediately that can help improve your speech immediately, this week, tomorrow, whatever. One was what? Free flow speaking exercise. This exercise is going to train you how to maintain constant airflow. When you're speaking naturally, right, when you're speaking naturally, you want to monitor yourself and say, am I stopping unnecessarily? Am I thinking about scanning ahead for every word that I'm saying? Because if I am, I need to stop doing that and just speak. Now, I'm going to have to actually go into that a little deeper in a future video, okay? But for now, practice this exercise. And what I'm going to ask you to realize is that, hey, I can actually speak without stopping every other word. I can actually do this, okay? The second thing we talked about is modeling, imitating, pretending, mimicking to be someone else when you're speaking. Very, very important, an important part of the Pro 90D speech system, and it really works. It's not easy, but you can do it, and once you do it long enough, it becomes your new speaking style, okay? Thank you very much. This is Michael Williams. I also want to make a very, very special offer to you that you're going to see at the bottom of this video or somewhere around this video for those of you that are interested just for the next 24 hours, maybe 48, but probably 24 hours, I'm going to be giving you a very special discount off of the Pro 90D speech system. So take a look for that link. We'll see you later.